A very warm good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you. On behalf of Elira Lung Care, it's indeed our proud privilege and a pleasure to be welcoming and presenting a 45 minutes presentation on pulmonary rehab, the state of the art, the expanding indications, and some patient experiences real time to give you a flavor of what it is, how it's done, how it's benefiting patients, and how in future it has a potential to benefit almost each and every field patients who are having a chronic illness. We've divided the presentation in three parts. Abhishek will be giving the background, why this center, and what all is provided at the center. Then I'll come in and I'll give introduction to what is pulmonary rehab, what are its components, how we roll it out. And then Shikha and Vikas, our physio team, will come in and actually what is done, and most important, what has been the experience of the patients that we have treated in the last 5 months. We started operations on 15th of January 2026, so we are into our 6th month only. So we've treated close to 40 patients in this time and we'll be sharing that. So to set the ball rolling, it's over to Abhishek to once again welcome everyone and give a brief presentation on Elira Lung Care. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Very warm welcome to everyone. Good evening. Before I start my official presentation, I first wanted to thank Dr. Mangla sir. Dr. Mangla sir has guided us before we started this venture. He helped us validate the need for this center and has supported us from day one despite being a new startup there. He has trusted his patients with us, so thank you so much. And Dr. Mangla sir introduced us to Dr. Chauhan sir, because of which we are here. So a big thank you to Dr. Chauhan sir for allowing us to be present here. Starting my presentation, Elira Lung Care is an advanced lung diagnostics and pulmonary rehabilitation center. The topic for today is pulmonary rehabilitation, the expanding role in clinical practice from chronic respiratory disease to heart, kidney, liver, cancer, metabolic disease and the surgical patient. Before we go into the presentation, this is our mascot Pulmo. We want the patients that come to us to feel happy, and Pulmo has an important message for everyone here.
Happy Doctor's Day to all the amazing doctors out there.
So a very happy Doctor's Day to all of you. Thank you for the service that you give to the society. Today's agenda, I am going to quickly cover about Elira Lung Care, why we started Elira Lung Care, what is Elira Lung Care. Then Dr. Arvind sir will cover pulmonary rehabilitation and the expanding role. And then we have Shikha and Vikas covering the patient stories and how we are making an impact to their life. So why Elira Lung Care? We are all aware that air pollution is a big crisis in India, not just in Delhi but across India. 74 of the world's most polluted city out of 100 are in India. In a study that I myself did in about 2,000 corporate workers, 30 to 40% of them reported that they are smoking right now, either vaping or smoking. Millions of individuals suffered from COVID-19 and have had long-term lung damage. All of these are tailwinds that are basically indicating to a large burden of lung disease. You can see it yourself. These are pictures from Sir's OT. On the left, what you see is a healthy pink lung on how the lung is supposed to be. In the middle is the lung of a 40-year-old non-smoker from a polluted city like Delhi. And on the extreme right is the lung of a 14-year-old child. So we have damage happening all the time to our lungs, which is quietly seeping in and causing havoc to the society. Millions are already suffocating. Reports say that 60% families in northern and central India report respiratory issues. Our own study by a foundation that we run called Lung Care Foundation, where we did the spirometry for about 4,000 school children, 1 in 3 children in Delhi NCR had airflow obstruction or asthma. And various studies published in literature say that the prevalence of chronic respiratory disease is about 100 million in India. Yeah, most individuals are getting a regular blood test, X-ray, CT scan, but when we ask if they've ever got a pulmonary function test, the answer is no. 90% people have never heard of a PFT or got a PFT to check what's happening in their lung, despite being exposed to harmful things like the pollutants or smoking or vaping. Pulmonary rehabilitation, which is a well-established evidence-based treatment across the world, is almost not available in structured manner in India. We are amongst the first dedicated standalone center separate from a hospital providing pulmonary rehabilitation. And just to tell the scale of this, there are about 830 centers in US that are already registered, while the digits in India are in single digits. And while talking to a lot of pulmonologists while doing our research, we heard that most of them were not happy with the quality of PFT reports that are there, and they were saying that chronic respiratory disease patients need long-term patient care, they need a lot of patient education, and they need care beyond the episodic visits to OPD. And this was the genesis of Alira Lung Care. At Alira Lung Care, we are focusing on two things. One, building a culture of proactive lung health check through high quality standardized lung tests. We have shared some reports which you can see later. We have got the best machines that are possible. We have got someone who's extremely experienced in doing the lung test. We have gone to multiple pulmonologists and asked what are the things that can go wrong. And we are ensuring that each report coming out of our center is completely perfect and is providing the right stats or right diagnosis. The second thing, which is the main thing that the center is focusing on, is providing comprehensive long-term care beyond medication through evidence-based structured pulmonary rehabilitation. At Alira, we have been very intentional about creating a calm and a comforting environment for patients with chronic respiratory diseases. These patients already are feeling very suffocated, many of them are on oxygen support or wheelchair. We wanted to make them feel comfortable if they are coming to a center again and again. We want them to feel positive, so we have put a lot of thought into how the center looks, how it's comfortable and inviting, and so that the patients do not ever feel that they are at a place where they need treatment. They should feel happy, they should feel comfortable at the center. And I would extend my personal welcome. We would love to host each one of you at the center if you are passing by. At this point, I'll also share the location. So Alira Lung Care, the Gurudwara that is there on the Aurobindo Marg at Yusufsarai. So if you take a left from there, that is where Alira Lung Care is. It's right next to where Mohinder Hospital used to be, or some of you might know Dr. Salil, so Unipath Lab used to be. So we basically are at the same place. And some people were asking me, what is Alira? So the Alira comes from two things. So AE comes from aero, which is air, and Lira is an instrument. So basically symphony of air is what Alira stands for. These are some of the pictures. Our main rehab hall, we have put a lot of thought that we have central air purification system so that the air quality inside the rehab hall is under 10. We don't want patients with respiratory disease to be working out in a polluted environment. And we have very strong ventilation system so that the air is continuously being recycled and refreshed so that there's no stale air in the center. I'll quickly cover about the lung diagnostics available at Alira Lung Care, and then we'll go in detail into the main topic for tonight's presentation. So at Alira Lung Care, we are focusing on only diagnostics related to lungs. We are doing the complete pulmonary function test, which includes spirometry, bronchodilator reversibility, lung volumes, and DLCO. We have got one of the best machines that is available in the market. It is the latest machine that is available in the market to provide complete stats. And we put a lot of effort to make sure that all the quality requirements are there to make sure the patient is able to do the test properly, because many of these patients struggle to do the test, and we spend as long as 2 hours with each patient if we need to get a quality report. Lung oscillometry or FOT is a new machine that has come out that is particularly helpful for children or people who are unable to do spirometry. In this, it is effort independent test that sends sound waves into the airways, and based on that it is able to tell if there is any obstruction or not. Pheno or fractional exhale nitric oxide, it's a biomarker for any kind of inflammation. It is used to assess if a patient has asthma or assess the response to steroids. And then 6-minute walk test is a functional test that is used in lung patients that measures exercise capacity or monitors changes in vital signs like drop in oxygen saturation, increased heart rate or such things at the center. So these are the lung function tests that are available at our center. Moving on to the main topic now, pulmonary rehabilitation, the expanding role in clinical practice. And for this, I'd like to invite Dr. Arvind Kumar sir for his diagnosis.
Good evening. See, a word about pulmonary rehabilitation. It is an authentic treatment modality. Besides the pharmacotherapy and all kind of treatments, pulmonary rehab makes all the difference. Once you have completed the pharmacotherapy and patient is still breathless, gets dyspnea on exertion, is depressed, there is a skeletal muscle wasting because COPD and all these diseases are, systemic illnesses. There is a weight loss, and in the event of acute exacerbation, there is the skeletal muscles really go weak. And after, even if these patients survive and go back home, there is inertia on the part of these patients to exercise. And if they don't exercise, then the next exacerbation can occur. But with pulmonary rehabilitation, dedicated, you see their psychological part is taken care of, how to breathe, how to feel less breathless, and how to manage the weakness, how to increase their exercise capacity. All these things matter. Some of these patients are on domiciliary oxygen therapy, and these patients after domiciliary therapy, or they are for lung transplantation, or some of them may be for some kind of a surgery. All these patients, if they undergo pulmonary rehab, they are really, really benefited. And some of my patients who visited and underwent these courses, they said, Doctor Sahab, सबको करना चाहिए. वहाँ का atmosphere इतना अच्छा है. मेरी sleep improve हो गई, and I am able to feel more energetic. मेरी कभी-कभी oxygen भी हट जाती है. I can exercise more, and I am able to take care of my household activities. Wow. So these patients are on the edge, making 5-10% difference to their exercise capacity makes all the difference in these patients. And they are psychologically depressed. Some of them are very intelligent, who have achieved everything, but because of pollution and cigarette smoking, you see they are downhill. And if they are psychologically boosted, it makes all the difference in their life. I think Dr. Arvind will throw a lot of light on these things, and we all will be wiser. Dr. Arvind.
Respected Dr. Mangla, Dr. Diwan, Dr. Chauhan, friends, ladies and gentlemen, once again a very warm good evening to all of you. And actually, Dr. Mangla has told everything that I was about to tell. So we can actually move to Cheka's presentation. But nonetheless, since I have spent time and Abhishek has spent time in making slides, we'll go through. Sir, आपने जो juice था उसका वो सब summarize कर दिया. Lot of people ask, what is pulmonary rehabilitation? So pulmonary rehabilitation is a comprehensive, evidence-based, medically supervised. Please, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to each word which is important. It's a comprehensive, evidence-based, medically supervised intervention based on a thorough patient assessment, and each of these words is practiced verbatim at Alira, followed by patient-tailored therapies that include but are not limited to exercise training, disease education, nutrition, and behavior change, and it's designed to improve the physical and psychological condition of people with chronic respiratory disease and to promote the long-term adherence to health-enhancing behaviors. If I was to summarize rehab in one slide, friends, this is what it is. It's a very comprehensive program. So a lot of people ask, is it physiotherapy? No. Chest physiotherapy is not pulmonary rehabilitation. Is it evidence-based? Yes. There is tons of evidence supporting this program. Is it started just like that? No. There is a thorough patient assessment done. Individual program is made for each patient, and there are nearly 15 different items which are done, all aimed at improving the physical and psychological condition. Now let me put a clarification here. Some people have believed that can it reverse the disease? Lot of patients who ask us, sir हमें ना ऑक्सीजन हटवानी है, आप हमारी ऑक्सीजन हटा सकते हैं? One patient came, sir मेरा FeV1 ना 32% है, मुझे ये 82% करना है, तुसी कर सकते हो जी? So you cannot reverse the PFT to normal. No. You cannot reverse the disease. No. We don't promise. This program is not a panacea for all lung problems. However, as Dr. Mangla said, these patients are suffering. मैं आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, 1 मिनट के लिए आप लोग 32-34 times a minute, 1 मिनट के लिए प्लीज सांस लेके देखिए. हम 12 से 14 पर मिनट सांस लेते हैं, लेकिन 1 मिनट के लिए फ्रेंड्स आप 1 मिनट के लिए ऐसे सांस लेके देखिए. 1 मिनट के लिए.
Let's do it.
Dizziness.
Let's do it.
मैं कर रहा हूं. आप सोचिए कोई 24/7 सांस ले रहा है, या मैं अगर उसको बेटर वर्ड में कहूं तो सांस के लिए तड़प रहा है. फ्रेंड्स, उसके लिए अगर आप इतना सा भी इंप्रूवमेंट कर देंगे ना, तो वो उसके लिए पहाड़ के माफिक होगा. एंड दिस फ्रेंड्स इज द बेसिस ऑफ pulmonary rehab program. We don't promise the moon कि हम डिजीज रिवर्स कर देंगे, हम पीएफटी नॉर्मल कर देंगे. नहीं, हम आपकी जिंदगी में सुकून ला देंगे. सुकून ला देंगे. सुकून is the correct word. So that, friends, is pulmonary rehab program. And what happens in these patients? When patients have breathlessness, they don't move. When they don't move, they have muscle loss. When they have muscle loss, they have fatigue, weakness, with which the daily life suffers. The muscles become weak, they can't breathe, so they become more breathless and they go into this vicious cycle. So breathlessness increases, physical activity reduces, muscles become weaker, their dependence on others increases, they become bedridden, they go to hospitals again and again, and they go in a vicious cycle where जिंदगी का एक पल मौत से भी बदतर होता जाता है. And that's where pulmonary rehab comes in and restores life to their life. It helps them build strength and stamina so they can walk, they can climb, they can move with ease. It improves their strength and endurance. They have better balance and flexibility. They can manage their breathlessness better, use advanced techniques. They can understand and manage your condition, and they can handle the setback. So it actually restores life to their life. Lot of people say that इसमें क्या है, आप लंबी लंबी सांस लेने को बोलते होगे, कुछ फिजियोथेरेपी कराते होगे. No friends, no. Just physiotherapy is not pulmonary rehabilitation. These are the various items which are included in pulmonary rehabilitation. भैया यहाँ पर आप लोग इधर आ जाओ, यहाँ आके बोलो, शोर मत मचाओ, या तो मैं बोलूँगा या आप बोलो, please. So we have adherence to medicines, which is the first thing we explain to them, that they have to take medicine. And friends, we don't interfere with the medical treatment. We insist कि जो डॉक्टर आपको इतने साल से ट्रीट कर रहे हैं, आप ट्रीटमेंट उनको लीजिए. हमारा ये ट्रीटमेंट उस ट्रीटमेंट को कॉम्प्लीमेंट करेगा. It's not a replacement. So we tell them adherence to medicine. Breathing oxygen titration. आप वीडियो में सुनेंगे, lot of these patients have low oxygen. Friends, there is one sentence that I want all of you to carry home. Any patient who has oxygen level below 90, it's a poisonous state, and this hypoxia further damages the lungs by causing pulmonary arterial constriction. So any patient who has oxygen less than 90 at any time, 24/7, whether at rest, whether at exercise, washing, bathing, any time, he is further damaging the lungs. And आपको surprise होगा कि 90% of these patients are not aware of this thing because it's never told to them. And you will hear it first hand from one of the patients which I recorded this afternoon only. So this is something on which we spend lot of time. Smoking cessation, breathing exercises, muscle training, endurance training, stretching exercise, nutritional counseling. 4 लोगों की फैमिली टेबल पर बैठी खाना खाने के लिए, 3 लोग नॉर्मल खाना खा गए, मेरी सांस फूल रही है, मुझे ऑक्सीजन लगी है, इसके बीच में मैं एक आध पीस खा रहा हूं, वो 3 खा के उठ गए, मेरा खाना नहीं खत्म हुआ, बट वो 3 उठ गए, मैं भी उठ जाता हूं. These people end up being underfed, which leads to weight loss, further muscle loss, further going into a vicious cycle. So we work on their nutritional counseling कि वो खाना खाइए जो आपको कम से कम मेहनत में मैक्सिमम कैलोरीज दे दे. अगर उसने एक नाशपाती खाई तो उस नाशपाती को चबाने में 200 कैलोरीज खर्च कर देगा और उसको 20 कैलोरीज भी उससे नहीं मिलेंगी. उसने अगर एक चॉकलेट फेरेरो रोशर को मुंह में रख लिया, एक बॉल, उसकी कैलोरी 2 खर्च होंगी उसको चबाने में और उसको 200 कैलोरी मिल जाएंगी. स्मॉल मेजर्स which are aimed at improving calorie intake, protein intake, so that their quality of muscles can improve. With psychological support, these patients suffer from suicidal tendencies, very low self-esteem. अजी मैं तो अपने परिवार के लिए एक बोझ बना हूँ, मेरी वाइफ परेशान है, मेरा बेटा परेशान है, मेरी बहू परेशान है. वो लोग कहते हैं अजी हम तो इनके बस. So we sit with both separately. Family से एक तरफ बात करते हैं, उनसे एक तरफ बात करते हैं, to make them come closer to each other. Coping strategies when you have problems, airway clearance, environmental control. Patient घर में बैठा है, उसके बगल में अगरबत्ती, धूपबत्ती, कपूर, सब कुछ जल रहा है, घर में carpets हैं. So these are things which worsen their condition. So we go into these details that they can have clean environment, self-management, education about the disease. Lot of people have never been told ये ILD क्या है, COPD क्या है. वो सोचते हैं शायद हम जाएंगे डॉक्टर के पास, दवा देंगे और हम ठीक हो जाएंगे. नहीं ठीक हुए, दूसरे डॉक्टर, तीसरे डॉक्टर, चौथे डॉक्टर, किसी ने स्टेरॉइड शुरू कर दिए, किसी ने स्टेरॉइड बंद कर दिए. So we sit with them, we made videos on each disease and we share it with them. आप अपनी बीमारी को समझिए ताकि आप खुद इसको मैनेज कर पाएं. And finally, inhaler etc. are often taken wrongly. So friends, all these are addressed together in a holistic, simultaneous manner, and this is when you have an overall improvement in the program. You would agree with this statement that pulmonary rehab is not just chest physiotherapy, it's more things than physiotherapy. So without rehabilitation, their everyday task is harder, their strength and stamina is low, they keep visiting hospitals, low mood, dependence on others. Each of these is reversed by this program. What is reported in the literature? There is a 15 to 35% improving in walking ability. There is an improvement in breathlessness, fewer hospital visits, improvement in symptoms, improvement in quality of life, muscle strength, reduction in ER visits, improvement in meals, and all these add not only to quality of life, which was initially the goal, but last 5 years data shows that now it is leading to improved survival also. Last 1 year there have been papers where people have followed up to 5 years and shown 30 to 40% improvement in their survival at 5 years, and now people are analyzing the 10-year survival also. So, which are the conditions in which it's applied? Primarily, it came for lung diseases where COPD and post-exacerbation COPD and interstitial lung disease. These were the three diseases where maximum work has been done and strongest evidence is for these three diseases. But then pulmonary hypertension, long COVID is also indicated. However, what has happened is that encouraged by the encouraging results from these areas, now people are extending it to severe asthma, post-TB lung disease, cancer patients, patients undergoing surgery, chronic heart disease, chronic kidney disease, and chronic liver disease patients also. And why it's being implemented, we'll see. So in COPD patients, all these improvements are there: ILD, lung transplants, post-TB lung disease, asthma. There is a data. Literature is filled with data. A lot of people ask, is it something new? It might be something which is 15, 20 years old, but there is tons of data to show that in all these patients it helps. And important thing is, it helps across all disease phases, from the earliest stage of the disease to the latest stage. Whatever stage the patient comes in, it helps these patients. In COPD, it improves breathlessness, exercise capacity, quality of life. This supports long-term management and core non-pharmacological treatment alongside inhaled therapy. Maximum literature is on COPD and post-exacerbation COPD. So when these patients have exacerbation, they are admitted to hospital, they are sometimes in ICU, on ventilator, they undergo further muscle atrophy and they often come back on wheelchair or stretcher. They need to be nurtured back to active life, and that's where rehab comes in. Lot of data which have shown improvement in 6-minute walk test, fewer hospital visits, reports less breathlessness, improved daily functioning, and now clear-cut data that all these put together improve survival as well. Likewise, in ILD, same kind of benefits have been reported. There is enough data available. I've not put the studies here to keep the presentation crisp and short, but each of the slides I'm showing is backed by literature data. So ILD, again, exercise tolerance, quality of life, symptom relief, emotional well-being, and finally all this leads to improved survival as well. So these were the two areas: COPD, post-exacerbation COPD, ILD, where initially it came. Then severe asthma. Now there is recommendation that in severe asthma cases also, where breathlessness persists continuously despite optimal pharmacological therapy, it's going to help you. So fewer attacks, better lung function, less need for medication, better confidence, better breathing control, and overall better fitness are the benefits being seen in these patients. Pulmonary hypertension also it is recommended, but it's recommended with a caveat that it has to be individually supervised by pulmonologists, not recommended for every case. However,
an area which has tremendous application in our country and huge disease load is there, is post-tubercular lung disease. When we have tuberculosis, oftentimes we are left with a scar, with a cavity, with destroyed lobe, destroyed lung, and a lot of these patients have physical, initial part. But encouraged with this, people started applying it to other diseases also. So pre and post surgery, it started initially with chest surgery. Does it help? And it was seen that exercise before and every exercise before and after surgery, it lowers the incidence of lung complications, early mobilization, it shortens the hospital stay and enables faster recovery of these patients. Then people said, what about people with chronic heart disease? They are also bedridden. It was seen there, and now there is data that supervised exercise improves exercise capacity in these patients also. Then people looked at chronic kidney disease patients because they are also bedridden, they also suffer from muscle weight loss, they also suffer from breathlessness. So there are a lot of things which are common between the respiratory and chronic kidney patient, chronic liver patients and cancer patient. And it was seen that in all these conditions, when this was applied, it benefited. And why did it benefit? Because they all had one shared mechanism. That is, it was reversing the deconditioning and muscle dysfunctioning in these patients and thereby getting succor to these patients. Likewise, long COVID and post-COVID breathlessness is proved to be helpful. Pre and post thoracic surgery, I practice it routinely every day and you will see it in one of the videos. Then cancer patients often develop fatigue, they have sarcopenia, which is muscle weight loss, muscle loss, and deconditioning, and rehab supports patients and before and after surgery or chemotherapy or irradiation, and it improves physical reserve, breathlessness management and independence of these patients. So before and after surgery, before surgery it's called prehabilitation, almost 2 weeks of intensive focused program. If you do, it reduces the risk of complications, leads to early discharge, and after surgery if you get them back to your center and you can make them do exercises, they recover faster and return much better to normal life than otherwise. Heart disease, as I said, chronic kidney disease, chronic liver disease, and these are the extended indications. So core indications, respiratory problems, COPD, post-exacerbation COPD, ILD. These were the three from where we started. We extended to pulmonary arterial hypertension, chronic asthma, post-COVID fibrosis, etc., etc. These were the lung diseases. Then we added pre and post surgery. Initially it was chest surgery, then other surgeries also, and then it was finally extended to chronic heart disease, chronic kidney disease, chronic liver disease, cancer patient, and before and after surgery. So friends, this is the spectrum of patients who can benefit from pulmonary rehab, because all of them suffer from muscle wasting, breathlessness, loss of tissue, and pulmonary rehab can reverse that and restore to them a better quality of life. How do you spot a candidate who can benefit? Very simple. Abhishek has put it in one line. If you have a patient with chronic disease who's got any functional limitation and muscle deconditioning, friends, this patient stands to benefit from pulmonary rehab. Very simple. Chronic disease, functional limitation, muscle deconditioning, there is no reason why rehab will not help him. So if you ask him, how far can you walk? Can you climb stairs? Are your muscles becoming weak? Are you breathless? If the answer is yes, so breathlessness on exertion, reduced walking distance, frequent exacerbation, post-hospitalization weakness, oxygen desaturation, pre-surgical optimization, all these are indications for referral. The mistake is patients are usually sent very late. अजी अभी तो थोड़ी सी बीमारी है, अभी क्या करना है? जब ज़्यादा सांस फूलेगी तब चले जाएंगे. That's where the mistake occurs, because the best improvement comes when it started early. Waiting until the patient is bed bound reduces the benefit. So treat rehab like BP control. As soon as you notice it, it should be done. Why is it underutilized if there are so many goods? Because there are hardly any dedicated centers. And I would really like to give credit to Abhishek that here is an engineer who returns from UK and he just told me that मुझे सर्विस नौकरी नहीं करनी है, मुझे कुछ अपना करना है. I said okay. I thought किसी दिन बोलेगा मैं ये स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ, वो स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ. You come up with some engineering product. Suddenly एक दिन डिनर पे मुझे और रीना को बोलता है कि मैं ना सोच रहा हूँ एक रिहैब स्टार्ट करें. तो भी लाफ किया, दिमाग खराब हो गया. रिहैब तेरे को क्या लेना देना रिहैब से? नहीं, मैंने देखा है आप लोग इतने पेशेंट्स हैं, इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. Let's dream and mind these words. He said it to us on dining table that let's dream of a center where a chest patient can get end-to-end care. Pallavi, this is important. Just listen. Here is an engineer who's telling a chest surgeon that let's dream of a center which can give an end-to-end care to a patient. So we are already doing work in the area of primary prevention. Let's have good diagnostics. Let's have pulmonologists and pediatrician providing clinical care. Let's give state-of-the-art pulmonary rehab and you bring in the chest services. So from one end to the other, it's a complete care to a chest patient from pediatrics to geriatrics. So that's his dream, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so happy to be presenting it on his behalf. So limited centers is one reason. Lack of awareness amongst public about its benefits. Lack of awareness amongst physicians because people say, "Arey yaar, ye kya hai? Ghar mein exercise kar lo, theek ho jayega." And of course, access barriers. So what do we request from you? Early identification, timely referral, support their adherence by education and motivation, and please integrate PR into comprehensive disease management. Wherever it's a chronic disease, patient is having muscle loss, patient is having symptoms, breathlessness, etc. Pulmonary rehab stands to benefit this patient. Thank you very much. That was the introduction and overview of pulmonary rehab, and now it's my very pleasant duty to introduce Shikha. Shikha has been our lead physiotherapist from the day one of the start of the center. She'll do two parts. One, what exactly we do when the patient comes in, and then few patient testimonials just to show you what our patients are experiencing, and then we'll open it to question and answer. And I request all of you to please listen to her carefully. She may not be speaking as loudly as I can, but please do give her a patient hearing. Shikha, please.
Thank you very much, sir, for comprehensively highlighting the importance and evidence of pulmonary rehabilitation. Welcome to all of you, and happy Doctors' Day to all the compassionate, respected doctors from the rehab team. I am Shikha, and I am leading the pulmonary rehabilitation along with my colleagues Vikas and Rahul at the clinic. So, taking this forward, I would like to just take you to the patient journey at our center. So, whenever the patient comes with us for the pulmonary rehabilitation, how do we start with the rehab? So, to start the rehab, very important thing is the assessment part. So, here the comprehensive assessment is something which is very important, and that is something which helps us to even make the protocol of the patient, because every patient has different desired activities or their limitations are different. So accordingly we function or we work with them to make their ADLs better and make their overall health status better. So in the comprehensive assessment, it takes about an hour for us to go through and assess all the parameters of the patients. We assess the breathlessness on the MMRC scale. We assess the COPD patient on the CAT scale to see the impact of symptoms in their life. We use cable for the ILD patient because they have different symptoms, like how limited their daily activities are in their routine. We assess these symptoms of depression, anxiety, because these people have chronic respiratory diseases. So it makes a huge difference when we work on their psychological aspect also. Then to assess the risk of sarcopenia due to the wasting in the muscle mass, we assess them on the SARC-F scale. We assess them on the clinical frailty index to work on that as well. We also work on their very important functional assessment, which is 6-minute walk test. So 6-minute walk test is specially done first thing when the patient enters to see what we can plan for the patient to build up the right protocol for them. There are various patients who say that मेरा तो oxygen drop नहीं होता, I am absolutely fine. कभी-कभी होता है, it goes to 89. But actually, those people have not really pushed themselves to a level where they will be walking for 6 minutes at a stretch. So they just walk a little and then they sit when they feel breathless. Some of them ignore to a level where they do not even believe in observing their oxygen levels on the pulse oximeter. So all of these things are taught well to the patient, and if somebody needs oxygen while performing the 6-minute walk test, several times we have introduced oxygen therapy to them at that level. After that, when the patient is assessed well, then we go for the personalized plan. So because in the assessment we have the clinical history of the patient, assessment on the basis of the scales, and then the functional assessment. So clinical history tells a lot what problem list do patients have. We subjectively ask patient about the problem list. So some people say that now we don't go out with the family. We feel, patient says that I love to travel. We are not able to travel. My son lives in America and I'm not able to go to him. So depends upon the patient problem that's varying. And according to that, when patient have good clinical outcomes, it's very important to convert them or translate them into the activities that they really want to do. Then we have supervised sessions. So once the personalized plan is made according to the protocol or the assessment that we did, then it comes to the supervised sessions. So we recommend patients to do at least 3 times a week. Every week session. We have 6 weeks pulmonary rehabilitation program, 8 weeks plan, and 12 weeks program. Usually patient coming with the chronic respiratory disease, we tell them to give at least 2 months dedicatedly to this program, and every single thing which is taught to them, whether to include in your routine or to prevent. Do that and then see the results. Then we have the progress tracking. So if the patient is coming for 2 months on every session, from the beginning of the session we start with the assessing the vitals of the patient. We keep a track of the oxygen levels when the patient come in, the BP measures when the patient come in, the pulse rate and the box scale of the patient. And then throughout the session, whenever the patient is doing endurance training, for example, patient is performing on the arm ergometer, or they are on the static cycle, elliptical bicycle, if they are on the treadmill, or if they are doing the ground walking. So at each session, whatever patient is doing is being tracked well, and by the end of the program, we give that report to patient to show them the difference what they did in the session 1 and to the last session. And the last is the graduation and maintenance. So here when the patient completes the program, we give them a good home program, whatever is required for them to perform the exercises at home. We provide them with the follow-up support in case something happens, that patient again gets an infection, or if their functional levels come down, they can get back to us, and how we can plan their protocols again and work on those. So, and with this, with the assessment, now we take you to the reports. So meticulously, we have recorded everything of the patient, and we have distributed to you the folders. So I would like to request Arvind sir to take us a detailed tour of the folder.
So just take a minute. We've given a folder, friends, to all of you. If you could just put your bowls down for a minute, sir, and open, because Abhishek has spent a lot of time, Abhishek and Shikha and others, they spent a lot of time making this. So the first page you would see is a pulmonary rehabilitation assessment summary. So Shikha just mentioned in the first one when the patient comes in, they spend about hour to 2 hours making a detailed assessment, and based on that, this first 2 pages, the pulmonary rehab assessment summary, you would see on the second page, all these tests are performed and each of the tests is then scored. So this is the score of the patient at entry into the program. So this becomes the baseline, which will then be checked at 6 weeks and at 12 weeks to see which of the scores has improved how much. Then when they have completed their pulmonary rehab program, the second one is we give them this report, and you will see on the first page 6-minute walk distance, how much was it pre-rehab, how much was it at 8 weeks, how much is the change, and there is a term called MCID, minimum clinically important difference. So each parameter, there is a stated form whether this change is significant or not, and then we say yes, it is significant. So each of these points is assessed, and a detailed summary you will see on the second page, it is given. Shikha mentioned to you that at the entrance into the program, we do a 6 minutes walk test. 6 minutes walk test is like the backbone of entry for assessing the cardiopulmonary muscular function of the patient. We make them walk continuously for 6 minutes. If they have fall in saturation, they are made to sit down. If they feel tired, they are made to sit down. So that tells us what is the respiratory cardiac assessment or tolerance of that patient. That's entered, and you can see at the bottom, clinical observation, patient sat down after 3 minutes due to dyspnea, saturation itna, further desaturated upon sitting, and how much time. So you would see how detailed assessment is done. Each of these reports is personally supervised by Abhishek. Even paper, which paper is to be used, is also chosen by him. And last page, which I want you to see, it's important. This is the PFT report. At the top, you would see trends. The machine that we have is actually Pulmo One, state of the art. Normally, when you have to do lung volumes, you need a full machine called body box, in which the patient has to go and sit, and it's a very claustrophobic kind of experience. But here, this machine allows lung volumes to be done without body box. It's got an inbuilt mechanism, and it has a memory in which each patient's previous test is stored. So when we have these patients on follow-up every 6 months or every year, you just give the name and the entire trend, whatever is available, will come. So all these records are very meticulously maintained by the team, and they are given to the patient.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to give you a little brief on what really happens inside the supervised session of the patient. So the session almost lasts for about 60 to 90 minutes, depends upon the capacity of the patient and how much they can really do. So the starting 10 minutes, first the vitals are taken, and if the patients are stable, in the starting 10 minutes for the warm-up sessions, we generally ask patients to do the breathing exercises. Any patient who is suffering from COPD disease has absolutely different way of breathing, and anybody who is suffering from an ILD condition have absolutely different way of breathing. Just by breathing perfectly fine, patients feel much better, and then they are ready for the sessions. Then we have 20 minutes of strength training where we focus on the major upper limb muscles and lower limb muscles. Upper limb muscles which are usually compromised are your biceps, triceps, your trapezius muscles, your pectoralis chest muscles are really important to train. And then for the lower limbs, the big muscles like your quadricep, your hamstring, your calf muscles, strengthening all of these muscles really help in improving the functional capacity of the patient and reducing the breathlessness while doing daily routine activities. Then they go for the aerobic training. So for the endurance training, we make patient do exercises on the arm ergometer. As important as the static cycle is, equally important is the arm ergometer, because usually people coming from the chronic respiratory disease have compromised strength of the chest muscles, which are usually not focused on. And when we work on our upper limb muscles, the near to upper limb muscles, we have the chest muscles, which really gets challenged during the arm ergometer. Then we do static cycles. Equally important is the elliptical bicycle, where the patient goes hands and arm and leg exercises all together, which again challenges their endurance. And then at the end, we ask the patient to do the ground walking, and whenever they feel better, we start with the treadmill walking of the patient. Then we train patient on their breathing. So we introduce inspiratory muscle training program for the patient whose inspiratory muscle strength are compromised. So we train them on that. And then by the end, we have cool down session and the education session. So all the components that Sir has introduced you to. So we take each components by the end of the session. For example, if there is a session and we are discussing on the environmental control. So we tell patient how they can control the environment of their work environment and their home. Moving forward, now we'll be discussing about the case studies of few of our patients. So first patient that we have.
So we have 3-4 patient testimonials. Friends, it's important. Just one minute clips from patients. So we've taken an ILD patient who's got lung transplant. We've taken a COPD patient. We've taken a bronchiectasis patient, and one patient who actually underwent chest surgery. Brief 1 minute clips. Just see what these people are reporting. It's actually real time.
Thank you, sir. So she is a 48-year-old female. She is diagnosed with ILD and currently she is listed for lung transplantation. She is enrolled in a pulmonary rehabilitation program, and now she is in her 3rd week of rehabilitation. But when she came to us, she reported that she was totally homebound for past 2 years. She had not attended any family function. Earlier, she was a very social person. So majorly, she was in an anxious state and she was depressed. She also reported that she is totally dependent on any caregiver to make her take bath or to even change her clothes. And also she was not introduced to oxygen therapy prior 1 month when she joined here. After the pulmonary rehabilitation program for 3 weeks, she is now better. One thing that I counseled her about, how she can just gain confidence in using oxygen. Earlier she was reluctant to even use oxygen. She didn't know how to use oxygen. So she was just told to use oxygen, just put on the oxygen whenever you feel breathless, which was not really supporting her. Now she is bathing herself with oxygen. Now she climbed up the stair of our clinic and she comes with the oxygen concentrator. She went out with her family to the mall and she felt much better. Now she is exercising for about 4 to 5 days. She comes to the clinic and she is exercising every day. Let's just hear from her daughter.
This video we recorded today afternoon.
So my mother has
Volume.
condition from about past 7 to 8 years, and ever since then the only thing that has been suggested is medication. And some doctors suggested some exercise, but we were never truly aware what's the right exercise to do and what's not. And the main reason I went back from the US is because of my mother's condition. I don't remember her going out and being happy, living her normal day-to-day life. And a month back when I came back, I saw that she wouldn't get out of her bed. The most she would do was to go use the restroom, and that's it. And when I came back, I had to encourage her that, she has to get out of the bed and start walking. And then my dad visited Vedanta and he met Dr. Ashish, and he suggested us that, we should go through this pulmonary rehab, and then we moved to Noida solely for this purpose so that we could bring her to rehab. And our experience has been great so far. My mother really looks forward to coming here. She's been happier, healthier. She does her tasks on her own. Earlier she had to require assistance when she would go take a bath. Now she takes a bath on her own. She changes her clothes. She's happier. She sits with us. Like she's glowing right now. If you would have like anybody saw her a month ago, like you could easily tell like she's really sick. But now she looks really better. We got the right sort of guidance on what she should eat, what kind of exercise she requires, and yes, we are really grateful for that, and I really hope that she continues to do better and get healthier while she is at Elira.
You want to?
So next patient we have is a 65-year-old female who underwent lobectomy. Let's hear from her son.
हाय माय नेम इज़ मणि महेश। मैं यहाँ अपनी मम्मी के लंग कैंसर डायग्नोसिस के बाद आया था। वी मेट डॉक्टर अरविंद और उन्होंने हमें गाइड किया कि बिफोर द सर्जरी आप एलिरा लंग केयर सेंटर आइए जस्ट टू प्रेप योर लंग्स फॉर सर्जरी करते। तो फिर यहाँ मैंने 10 दिन एक्सरसाइज करी बिफोर सर्जरी, विच हेल्प्ड अ लॉट ताकि सर्जरी बहुत ईजी रही। एंड आफ्टर सर्जरी ऑल्सो कमिंग हियर फॉर 10 डेज। अब हमें काफ़ी फिट फील कर रहे हैं एंड ऑल्सो ब्रीदिंग हैज गॉटन बेटर। तो आई वुड हाईली रेकमेंड अगर किसी को भी कोई लंग प्रॉब्लम है या कैंसर रिलेटेड इशू फॉर लंग्स तो एलिरा ये गेट योरसेल्फ चेक, सर विल गाइड यू। यहाँ स्टाफ भी बहुत अच्छा है, वेरी केयरिंग, उन्हें बड़े प्यार से एक्सरसाइज समझाई कराते हैं। वी स्पेंड 90 मिनट्स 2 आवर्स जितना भी चाहिए एंड आई थिंक वी आर गेटिंग ग्रेट रिजल्ट। आफ्टर सर्जरी शी इज परफॉर्मिंग ग्रेट। उन्हें 8-9 दिन में डिस्चार्ज भी हो गया था। डिस्चार्ज तो फर्स्ट वीक ही हो गया था। फिर जो आपकी बॉटल लगती है वो भी 1-2 दिन ही है एंड नाउ डॉक्टर हैज आस्क्ड अस टू गेट द बॉटल रिमूव जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सरसाइज। वो यहाँ जो हो रहा है उनसे उनकी रिकवरी काफी क्विक हो रही है। दैट हैज हेल्प्ड अ लॉट।
For further patient feedback, I would like to request my colleague Vikas to take over and introduce you to the more patients.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, come. Vikas also has been with us from day one.
Good evening everybody. Thank you. Happy Doctor's Day to everybody. So here we have a 63-year-old male who has COPD. When he came to us, he was dependent on people for everyday activities like bathing and dressing himself and grooming, which was very irritating him, which was very annoying him because he was a very independent man before this. He used to get breathless by if there was loud sounds. He used to get migraines, he used to get headaches. He used to get anxious because he was always oxygen dependent. When he was waking, when he was lying down, even when he was sleeping, he needed oxygen. So it was making him very anxious. And there was no exercise routine. He was completely isolated at home. He barely used to talk to his family. He used to be by himself because he had slowed down very much. He came to us. He's still undergoing rehabilitation and this is his 4th week and these are his outcomes. Now he is able to bathe himself independently without anybody's help. He's able to dress himself, he's able to groom himself, which has made him very happy. He's able to do all the other activities of daily living, by himself at a slower speed, yes, but he's able to do it independently, which has improved his quality of life. He is more confident and he doesn't mind the oxygen too much now because we have counseled him, we have counseled his family to keep up the pace with him so that they don't do things too fast and leave him behind. So they all work as a cohesive unit and he's feeling much better now and he's getting better every day. Now let's hear it from him.
मेरा नाम संदीप अरोड़ा है। मेरी उम्र 62 साल है। मैं पिछले 6 साल से सीवियर अस्थमा से पीड़ित था और पिछले कुछ टाइम से ऑक्सीजन ले रहा था। मुझे वॉशरूम में और नहाने में ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत पड़ती थी, लेकिन अभी 6 हफ्ते पहले मेरे बेटे ने रिसर्च कर ये एलिरा कोर्स मुझे ज्वाइन कराया। कोर्स ज्वाइन करने पर मुझे डॉक्टर अरविंद, डॉक्टर शिखा और डॉक्टर विनेत जी से मिलने का मौका मिला। उनकी राय अनुसार, उनके करने से मुझे काफ़ी अपने अंदर फर्क महसूस हुआ। अब मैं बिना ऑक्सीजन के नहा भी लेता हूँ और वॉशरूम भी जाता हूँ, और मुझे अपने अंदर बहुत बदलाव नजर आया, कॉन्फिडेंस नजर आया, मेरा मनोबल बहुत ऊंचा हुआ, जो मैं सांस की वजह से हो चुका था कि मुझे ऑक्सीजन ही लगनी रहती थी। अब मुझे ऑक्सीजन लगती है पर बहुत कम लगती है। मैं इस पूरी टीम का, एलिरा टीम का दिल से धन्यवाद करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Next, we have her, a 71-year-old female who was diagnosed with bronchiectasis. She underwent 8 weeks of pulmonary rehabilitation. She came to us because she had persistent coughing, a lot of breathlessness when she was walking, and she used to complain to us saying, I can't even walk with my husband. He walks too fast and I'm not able to keep up with him. So we counseled him separately, saying, sir, all it takes is for you to take a step or two slower, and slowly we improved her capacity to match his stride and get them done. And then she felt weak, and that used to cause a lot of anxiety, if I'll be able to walk again, sudden bouts of panic and everything. And after rehabilitation,
मैं शारदा शर्मा 2 साल से सांस की तकलीफ से परेशान थी। सब दवाइयाँ लेती थी पर उससे आराम नहीं आ रहा। जो फायदा मुझे यहाँ आकर हुआ, यहाँ वर्कआउट जो भी मैं कर पाती हूँ उसमें बढ़ोतरी हो रही है। 6 हफ्ते मैं कर चुकी हूँ, 2 हफ्ते अभी बाकी। जिस भी मशीन पे मुझे एक्सरसाइज के लिए बिठाया जाता है वो मेरे लिए कंफर्टेबल भी है और मुझे उससे फ़ायदा हो रहा है। यहाँ का जो स्टाफ है उन्होंने मेरा मनोबल बढ़ाया। पहले मैं ये सोचती थी कि मैं इतना नहीं कर पाऊँगी, तो मैं आई थी फरवरी के लास्ट वीक में। फिर 7 मार्च से मैंने जब से ज्वाइन किया, मुझे रात को सोने में भी आराम है, खाने पीने में भी आराम है, और घर के जो छोटे मोटे काम हैं वो मैं आराम से कर पाई। मुझे सांस लेने की थोड़ी एक होता था कि मेरा सांस फूल रहा है, बैठे बैठे भी, और कभी कभी वर्कआउट करते जैसे किचन तक गई तो आउट होने लगी। तो यहाँ आने से मुझे बहुत बता नहीं सकती हूँ, मैं अभी अपनी फ्रेंड से शेयर करती हूँ, और यहाँ का स्टाफ ने जो मेरे को मोटिवेशन दिया है मैं उसकी बराबरी नहीं कर पाऊँ। डॉक्टर साहब का नेचर, जो फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट हैं उनका स्वभाव, हर काम में मेरी वेल विशर रही है ये मुझे। और अभी घर में तो मुझे ये भी कहा जाता है और आगे बढ़ाओ ताकि वहाँ आकर और स्वस्थ हो जाए। जो बताया डॉक्टर साहब ने घर में करने की कोशिश करूँ।
Now, apart from doing all the ADLs, she is also actively exercising every day. She exercises at least 45 minutes and she is also getting better. Now, for our last patient, this fine gentleman is a 72-year-old practicing orthopedic surgeon in the United Kingdom. He came to us because he was diagnosed with lung cancer. When he came to us, he was breathless in just about everything. I still remember his first session, he was barely able to complete it. But then he worked his socks off and he completed 10 days of rehabilitation before his surgery, because after he came to us, we got to know that he had a kidney transplant, so that put him at a higher risk of having post-surgical complications. So we worked on him, he completed 10 days of rehab. He went for the surgery, and 5 days after the surgery, he came back to us for rehabilitation, and he improved so well and he liked it so much that he delayed the flight back to London. He took a month-and-a-half delay. He completed the course and then he is back and he is resuming his life as usual. And his adherence has been very well because he still connects with us through tele-rehab and he still takes his sessions. Alright, now I would like to hand over the mic to Dr. Radhan sir for the
Thank you, Shikha and Vikas. And Rahul? Yes, sir. Yeah, Rahul is the third person there. So, just last 2 slides. Can I have everyone attention, please? Hello, friends. Just last 2 slides. ये स्लाइड आप याद रख लेंगे तो आज के प्रोग्राम का पूरा पर्पस है। So, I would like to end by few clear-cut statements. Friends, today, pulmonary rehabilitation is an extremely useful tool complementing, not replacing,
your clinical care. Please, line is very important. It complements, it doesn't replace your clinical care. Anywhere you see a patient with a chronic disease who has any functional limitation, muscle deconditioning, pulmonary rehab. In fact, for other diseases it should be called rehab rather than pulmonary rehab. But since the name is pulmonary rehab, we'll continue to use it. This program has the potential to benefit that patient. And you've heard from 5 different categories of patients. From ILD, from COPD, from bronchiectasis and 2 surgical cases. It benefits patients across all disease stages, from earliest to the most advanced stage, but best results come when early referrals are there. Sadly, it's grossly underutilized in our country. As Abhishek mentioned, there are 830 centers in US and there is none in North India. It's the first center to open dedicated to this topic in North India. There is one center in Mumbai, one in Bangalore, and it's the 3rd one in the country. Lack of awareness amongst public and lack of awareness about its utility even amongst the medical professionals is responsible. Alira Lung Care, and the credit for that goes to Abhishek, is a humble effort to fill this void. As you have heard from our patients, initial results are promising, with patients showing subjective as well as objective improvement, and as they say, the proof of pudding is in eating it. When somebody joins the program for 2 weeks and says, no, I'm continuing for 6 weeks, and then the family says, no, I want to continue for 12 weeks, and then they say, nahi, hum to ab hafte mein ek baar aate hi rahenge, hame aake yahan acha lagta hai. I think that's a proof of the fact that it's helping the patient. And last slide, the goal was never just to help them breathe. The goal is to help them live and live better. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful audience, and I thank you very much on behalf of the entire team from the core of my heart. Thank you so much. And if there are any questions, I would request team will be very happy to answer.
Sir, please come here. I would also request Shikha, please to come here. Please come here. We had a wonderful session and we understand that it's not only about rehabilitation, it's about holistic treatment and it's about giving a good life to our patients. Dr. Usha Khanna ma'am, अगर एक सवाल पूछ लेती तो बहुत अच्छा था. सवाल एक पूछ जाती तो बड़ा अच्छा था. आपने डोनेट किया फिजिशियन फोरम के लिए, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और आपने मोटिवेट किया, इंस्पायर किया सबको कि वो भी थोड़ा सा कंट्रीब्यूट करें फिजिशियन फोरम ऑफ इंडिया के लिए. मैम छोले भटूरे बहुत बढ़िया बनवाए हैं और कसम से कह रहा हूँ आपने कभी खाए नहीं होंगे ऐसे. और दूसरा मैम कुल्फी फालूदा, आप डॉक्टर आकाश केसरी से पूछ लीजिए, ये पूरी ओबेसिटी भूल गए मैम उसके चक्कर में, पूरा खा गए. मैं साथ में गुलाब जामुन भी खा. एक सवाल अगर पूछ लेते तो बहुत बढ़िया. सर प्लीज, आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू प्लीज. सवाल ही नहीं है. बहुत ही बढ़िया, बहुत वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड.
मैं एक मेरी फैमिली मेंबर है. दिस इज माय डॉटर, माय वेरी वेरी डियर, वेरी स्पेशल डॉटर पूजा. शी इज एल्डर टू अभिषेक एंड शी इज द मैनेजर एट द सेंटर. जब आप लोग कभी अगर आएंगे पूजा मिलेंगी और पूजा आपकी देखभाल करेंगी. Would you like to have a cup of tea, cup of coffee? सब कुछ पूजा देखती हैं. तो एक बार जोर से cheers for पूजा.
I would also
thank you for coming.
सर मैम को भी इंट्रोड्यूस करा दीजिए.
ये हमेशा पीछे रह जाती हैं.
Let's be introduced to the angel.
वो कहते हैं behind every frightened man there is his wife. So this is Dr. Reena. She's my wife. We've been together for 38 years. She's a medical doctor with the MHA from MHA means Masters of Hospital Administration from AIMS, senior residency there. Then she joined Gangaram Hospital. She was in administration there for 17 years. She became a medical director there. And 2020, when I moved along with my team to Medanta, she also moved, and she's a senior medical administrator today at Medanta. And she's the all management person behind Elira Lung Care. मैं खाली presentations करता हूँ, ये सब लोग काम करते हैं.
Thank you, sir. I'm so happy that you brought everyone, including Pooja. We are happiest to meet Pooja, sir, honestly speaking.
She's our special type.
Yes. We would like to have some question and answers, but before we have that, I will give it to my moderators, first to Dr. Mangala sir, to set the context, and then to Ravinder to set the context for the entire talk, and then I will come to every one of you. The dinner is open, but I would still request you, implore you to ask a question and then proceed for dinner. I will come to Dr. Singh, my moderators first. Dr. Mangala sir.
Wonderful lecture. I think there could be better explanation how to go about pulmonary rehab. Any questions from the house?
There are multiple questions. I would also give it to Dr. Ravinder to set the context, and then I am coming to every one of you.
Thank you so much, Sushil, and thank you, Arvind and his team, for having introduced the idea. You see, at the National Institute of TB and Respiratory Diseases, for the last 20 years as a director and at times, I tried to give pulmonary rehabilitation to many doctors, but the kind of dedication that is required to show in a comprehensive manner, nobody could develop that program. And I'm sure you must have seen that in already as the medical sciences too. So it is very important that a standalone program is developed which concentrates on too many things simultaneously. I think one or two points still I would like to say. Do you still add number one yoga in this program, and number two, with some of the patients who are suffering are also suffering from obesity. So with GLP-1 medicines also coming now these days, do you have something, some comment to make on these two?
Yeah, excellent questions, Dr. Diwan. First question was about yoga. Definitely. So we've just started, but the next thing that we have in our plan is to have a yoga person also. And I think the chest expansion exercises, वहाँ कुछ होते हैं, एक धनुषासन होता है, in which you kind of hyperextend your chest, and I think those might prove to be very useful for ILD patients. We definitely wish in coming months to introduce yoga, definitely. Regarding obesity, we've had 2-3 patients who were obese. We haven't resorted to GLP medicines, but during exercise, they did lose weight. In fact, not only that, some of other patients had diabetes, hypertension, and couple of other diseases, and they reported improvement in them also, because when you are happier, the stress hormones are low, so sugar comes down, BP comes down. So there were a lot of collateral benefits also from this program. So obesity, in fact, most of the patients have been on the undernutrition side, few on the overnutrition, but definitely if someone has obesity, it needs to be addressed, and I just got introduced to him yesterday, and I'm sure we'll be able to seek his help. He's not a bariatric surgeon, but he's a complete package. So from medical management to surgical, we'll be taking his help also.
Naresh, Dr. Sen Gupta. Dr. Sen Gupta is MD Medicine. He is FRCP. He is an endocrinologist. He is a wonderful physician. He is working at NHI, and his daughter is going to be our musical director for the evening on 23rd. And some of you, Dr. Arvind included, had a glimpse of her talent when they came last time. Over to you, Sen.
Sir, thank you very much. This has easily been one of the most informative CMEs that we have had in the last few times that we have met, and thank you so much. I go back a lot more informed. So, two quick, very small questions. What is the minimum price of your packages that you are having? Secondly, what is the minimum time span that you ask for a patient before the patient may want to prolong it or you may want to prolong it?
Sure.
So what is the basic time frame that you are giving to a patient before you are looking at some format of tangible results?
Sure. So the minimum period which is recommended is about 8 weeks. That's when meaningful improvement starts appearing. Although ideal reported is 12 weeks, but 8 weeks is the minimum that they must do, and this is done 3 times a week in physical or teleform. But 3 times a week doesn't mean that it's only done 3 times a week. The intervening days are days for work at home. So we make sure that they do the same exercises at home on the intervening days, and we do our first reassessment at 6 weeks to see how much improvement has taken place. 12 weeks is the ideal time, after which it has been shown that people who are put on long-term maintenance program tend to do better in the long run than those who do not go on a long-term program. So what we are doing, all those who are completing 3 months, in fact, there are only few who have completed 3 months, and they all have decided to continue for some more time. But whenever they stop coming regularly, we would definitely implore them to stay connected with us at least once every month, physical or by Zoom, so that we keep reinforcing what they have learned in the 3-4 months that they've been with us, and we feel that will go a long way in better long-term improvements to them.
So when you are customizing these packages, so by and large the basic modalities remain the same for the initial 2 months, or it is very distinct from person to person?
No, it's distinct from person to person. In fact, the first question that these people, Shikha and others, ask them, आज अगर आपसे एक चीज पूछा जाए कि सबसे पहले आपको क्या चाहिए, तो आप क्या चाहते हो? So we make a wish list for every patient. For example, the first patient who joined, actually he was a case of large bulla, but he had bilateral disease, so he was not a candidate for surgery. So we put him on this program. That man used to scrub himself and bathe for about an hour. वो उसका बचपन से था, but he was not able to do it now. He says, डॉक्टर साहब मुझे ना किसी तरह से नहा लेना सिखा दो, नहा लूँ मैं, बस मेरी तो जिंदगी सफल हो जाएगी. So some breathing exercises were taught to him, how to inhale and exhale, and he could do that. He said, जी मेरा तो सफल हो गया, अब इसके आगे जो हो बोनस हो. So we ask every patient, 6-minute walk test tells us what is his ability to do. So accordingly, the starting program is set. Suppose somebody walks normal in 6-minute walk test, वो पहले दिन से ही ट्रेडमिल पे दौड़ रहा होगा. We'll go higher. Somebody cannot walk even 100 meters, तो उसको पहले दिन से हम धीरे-धीरे कराएंगे. So according to patient's present status and his desires, we make a tailor-made program, and then we keep escalating.
So going back to my first question, how expensive is this?
Abhishek will answer.
Sir, the 6 weeks program is for 30,000, which includes 18 rehabilitation sessions. Each session is about 1.5 hours long. Plus, beyond the 18 sessions, it includes 2 detailed consultations along with 6-minute walk test.
Sir talked about 8 weeks.
Yes, sir. So 8 weeks is 38,000. It marginally keeps increasing. Per session cost comes to about 1,400 or so, because we include nutritional counseling, at-home plan, what to do after the program. So all of this is included in the package price. And when we include yoga and everything, so everything will be, if you enroll into the program, you have access to everything. We don't charge for anything once you're in the program.
So what are your timings at the center?
Sir, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. We are open 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Whoever enrolls for the rehab is coming for 3 days a week. So it's usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And once, if we have more demand, we will open up the center longer durations. But most of the patients want to finish their morning works and come to the center by 10:30 or so.
Thank you. Sure. Dr. Sen, more than just doing physiotherapy. 3-4 patients. Saturdays I'm here. I am here Wednesday evening. बाकी दिन मैं जानता हूँ. Wednesday evening I spend here. Saturday full day I spend here. I personally interact with every patient, ask them how they are doing, and if they are better, why they are better, and what more can be done. So what most of them told me, सर हम डॉक्टर साहब के पास जब जाते हैं, अपने डॉक्टर के पास 5 से 10 मिनट मिलते हैं उनके साथ, वो दवा लिख देते हैं, हमें कोई सवाल पूछने का टाइम नहीं होता, उनके पास जवाब देने का टाइम नहीं होता. यहाँ पर हमें 1 से 1.5 घंटा कुछ लोग मिल जाते हैं जिनके साथ न केवल हम घर की बातें करते हैं, बट हम अपने सारे जो क्वेरीज हैं मेडिसिन से रिलेटेड वो पूछ लेते हैं. ज्यादातर तो वो आंसर कर देते हैं, जो उनको नहीं आता वो नोट कर लेते हैं और मुझसे पूछ के फिर आंसर कर देते हैं. So there is so much more that they are getting.
Sir, I'll just add one example. अभी recently severe asthma patient joined, जिनका spirometry में reversibility में almost 30% improvement है, which is massive improvement. But वो उन्हें inhaler लेके रखा हुआ है, कभी use नहीं किया. तो अब हमने मैंडेटरी कर लिया है कि आप आओ इधर, हमारे जो टेक्नीशियन हैं वो आपको इनहेलर दिलवाएंगे. एंड नाउ व्हेन शी इज कमिंग शी सेड आई हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन इट इन द मॉर्निंग, सो दैट हैबिट हैज बीन inculcated in her on how to use the inhaler properly.
So my question is very simple. Those patients, many adult patients are not able to do spirometry properly. So is it oscillometry effective or equally useful in those patients?
Sir, so one thing is कि we spend a lot of time to make sure the patient is able to do. बाकी centers में